Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, this is going to be a pretty quick video. As you can see, this is a nighttime setting here for me. We're going to have a really quick video just looking at one other thing really quickly here in Skeetersoft NPIII. These are some of the features that we talk about. Let me go to the screen view. There we go. Some of the features that we talk about here that a lot of people, I think, when they talk about this game, don't fully recognize are there. It looks like a pretty simple game, and really, I would claim that the design itself is simple. The board game is a little bit more complex, but it's not really that far out there. It's not like a super difficult or super wacky game or anything. Actually, I would say that all of these baseball simulators, when you get under the hood, are pretty simple. It's not that hard to simulate the sport. But the thing I wanted to look at here is some of the cool stuff you can find here over in the games played side of things. So the games played thing here is kind of like the replayer's delight, right? And the reason why I say this is because there's a lot of really cool stuff in this tab that otherwise, as I save a screenshot, apologies for that, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in this tab that I think a lot of other games could use, and if it does exist for them, it could be a little bit easier to find, right? I know, for example, in Diamond Mine, you can look at like an individual team's records through the replay. A little bit hard to get to that information, though. So, I mean, I don't know. This is where it becomes cool. So you can go and look through every single game that you've replayed. You can see what the file name is. All of these have the same file names, except there's one that I kind of screwed up. You can see my file naming convention, which is pretty obvious. They're all saved in the same directory so that it's easy to find. I've said this before, I'll say this again. It's a shame that we don't use Linux instead of having to use Windows, because Linux file naming conventions and folder construction is a lot easier and a lot more obvious. But the cool thing here that I really like, besides the fact that you can edit the dates, you can even edit the game itself if you want to. If there was something that went wrong or there was a mistake, you can remove a game if you didn't want to put it in. But the cool thing is you can look at this for individual teams, right? So we can look here at the Boston Red Sox to come up first, and we can see every one of the results. Now, it's not really so easy to see which game they won, which game they lost, right? Because of the way that this stuff is set up, and you can't sort of change the stuff around. It would be nice if there was some color coding or something like that. But you can get an idea. I mean, they won this one, because the visitor team is here, home team is there. They won this game, they won this game. They won this game, so on and so forth. And so if you are not creating like a super record of the season, if you're just playing these games and you forget what happened, it's actually pretty easy for you to go back through and to sort of see what's going on. So if I want to see like what happened in this game, Eddie Plank against Cy Young, I can double click on it and there we go. And not only do I have this information about the game that pops up, not only can I look at like the box score or whatever, not only can I see what the pitcher's records were at the end of it or what the records of the teams are today, which is interesting, I can also scroll back up and I can go through every single roll, not just every single play, but I can look and I can see what every roll is, right? A 2-4 led to a 13 for Hartzell. 1-3 led to a 14 for Davis. He walked, and that we called a hit and run, which is great because if I'm going after the fact, let's say I'm going to write some sort of recap of my replay, and I'm thinking, well, this was an exciting one. Pretend that I don't remember about it. I didn't write about it or whatever. I'm pretty sure I wrote about this game. I can go back down to the end and be like, well, was there anything exciting that happened? Yeah, the Athletics came close to scoring here. They had a runner on to second base with only one out, and then Murphy kind of blew it with a fly ball to left field. Now there was two away, and then it was only a matter of time. Oldring flew out, and that was it. And then the Red Sox won at the bottom of the ninth, right? So you can see, you can look up really cool stuff if you're trying to come up with like a summary of your replay. This is interesting. It doesn't let me open or close the game. I guess I click on new game. That'll do it. So you can do stuff like that. You can look through all of your games. You can look at all of the home games for the team you have selected. You can look at all their away games. So that makes it a lot easier too to figure out what happened. And you can just look at all games as well. This is one of the things that I think gives sort of an advantage to this type of system, right? Like I can go into Diamond Mine Baseball. I can look at all of the games from an individual team, but the way the Diamond Mine is structured, I can't just like click in and look right away at the box score. I have to go to a different place to find that. I have to kind of take notes on what I'm doing. And the other problem with Diamond Mine is that I can't go through and see exactly how every single result was achieved, whereas here I can. This is, I would argue, even better than keeping score by hand if you're playing a game by hand, because here you can see every dice roll, right? I don't know if anybody who plays APBA, Strat-O-Matic, or anything like that, who keeps track of every single dice roll. I mean, that's a little bit extreme, but here you can do it. You can see it really easily. You can see it for any game that you want, you know, and if you're playing this for years and you keep your NP3 files, you could go back years later and look at this and be like, oh, I can see what I rolled here and what I rolled there. Anyway, pretty cool stuff. I know it's geeky stuff, but this is all really geeky stuff, and hopefully some of you at least will have some appreciation for this. I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye.